Final hour of trading in a Tuesday afternoon session. Let's see how things are shaping up as we head towards the close. Negative for both the S&P and the Dow here. It's the Dow actually leading. You can see the NASDAQ holding on to slight gains there, about 0.25% to the upside. For the NASDAQ, we're positive here in Toronto as well. Yeah, if you missed it, there was a bit of a flash crash there in cryptocurrencies. They have stabilized somewhat, but still big time negativity at the bottom there. We have SPACs going crazy this afternoon as well, guys.
There's been a few SPACs that have moved this afternoon, this morning as well. Welcome back, everybody. It's like crazy. We got to show the chart to show some of the crypto, but I mean, this NMCTC, EFTR was a big mover, ARQQ. I'm sitting in like this SOAC, tons of movers, and there's even been some squeeze plays, like big move to the upside and DD. Clover was on the move to the upside as well. So just all over the place, just sort of out of nowhere at lunchtime, you had some big movers, Sean.
Yeah, we just talked about, we tweeted out that we were 6 for 6. So far today, a couple good ideas. And what made it go was Clover. We were short early, short here, out, and then you guys know we were waiting for that 10 to break. Then it breaks, of course, and then silly us, we get out at 10.31 or whatever that price was, thinking that it was going to come back in here. So that never happens. Clover rips up to $11. Whoops, we don't need that on. And it's been just a crazy, crazy time for Clover. Some people tweeting at me that they're finally in the money, and yeah, me too. I tweeted that we were just long, or not tweeted, we talked about it earlier on the show, that we were long just under $10. So right now it does take that out, and so thank you for that, Clover. Now you're back into the money. That was a good one. Rocket companies went up as well as we were practicing the memes and movers show, and you can tell your friends, tell every single person, because you can put a smile on this guy's face, because there it is. What's up? Memes and movers back tomorrow. So tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Memes and Movers will be back with Pratt and Miss V. So that should be really super exciting. We're happy to announce that, again, knock on wood, but all the technical difficulties that we've been having with microphones and throws and all that kind of stuff has been resolved. So we're happy to report that tomorrow, Memes and Movers is back in the building.
Definitely back in the building. I can say, as they were testing, we were talking a lot about Clover because while we were testing, Miss V had a bit of a short trade on, and we talked about this one amongst ourselves here because at 10 break, it looked like it was turning at 1080. I actually got out of mine at 1080 when it made this turn here, and actually V went short in the, I guess, the paper money account there. Ends up working out, but I just want to quickly point out, you see this sort of random high, breaking 11, getting to 11.13. Always go to the higher time frame, right? Like daily chart, I mean, if this doesn't stand out here at 10.25, this pullback, after it went super parabolic, like the real move that it went up, and when it touched that 30 level, the real hold was right here all the way down to 11.25. That turned into a bit of a resistance point, at least for now. You know, certainly a lot can happen going into the close. I mentioned currently this SAOC, which SOAC, I should say, check that. It's on the New York because all of these SPACs are on the New York, Sean, not the NASDAQ. And I keep typing in like NQ, despite the fact that it's on the New York. Another one. And this one not really going as much. I took a break because it's like, well, there's another one doing volume. On a volume spike, got it at 12.11. Was able to get some out here in front of like 75s, and then it actually broke 13. I thought, okay, well, why don't we see if it can hold to the upside like every other one was doing. This did not hold upside. Still has a chance to go, but I'm going to go break even stop on the off chance this one turns into one of those halt plays. And I'm still in Sava from this morning, which will be the trade of the day, despite the fact that I'm still sitting in it.
Yeah, we're debating which way to go with that trade of the day. I still have Sava as well, and we did not get out of Sava, and we talked about why that was. However, it hits that level that we probably should have emptied it out on, and it was right in here. You know, how many times are we bouncing off that 47.65 there? I almost put a stop right there to get out at 48.20, which in hindsight would have been a good idea, saving us 50 cents. But we're still short all the way up here. Sava was another trade that we were in trouble with, but we had that 51 targeted, and you know, since then, nothing. That's not 51. It was nothing. It was off of the past couple days, but we did have 51 targeted up here. Friday's high, I guess, 50.70. We touched that mark, and that's why we went short. So Sava with a nice victory here for us today so far in the money, $2. Pfizer, okay. So I know Neil talked about Moderna a little bit earlier on, but now we have Pfizer, and again, we went long early. We basically bought these dips, emptied them out right there, got out on a 75 break, got back in, and just taking dimes and 5 cents or so out of Pfizer. Not much. We're pretty light on that one. We will will look back on that. Really happy with NEO this morning. We took that early, and then we got out, not at the high, but at a decent spot here as we came all the way back to VWAP and resisted that. That was 41.50, so that was a good out. Now NEO's kind of just cruising. I don't think it's going to be any of these stocks that we're going to trade this afternoon. We have to look at some of these moving stocks, so I'm just reviewing some of those trades. Maybe Brendan has one of those for us right now.
One of the big movers from last week, guys. In fact, BBIG just popping up here in the last few minutes, in fact, on decent volume. So this one's starting to get going again. Remember, this ran all the way up to almost 12 midweek last week, guys, for Vinco Ventures.
And worth noting, just as I pull the chart up for this one here on the 15-minute, just looking at it just turned to like 868, or sorry, topped out at 868 recently. You do have on the 15, you got 870 here, you got about 870 to 880 going back into like, I guess it would have been mid last week, like Wednesday it looks like. There are some levels higher up there, but first test is right here up at that 880 level. So as it gets up through these prices, just keep in mind, like there have been turns on just about every parabolic mover that didn't halt. So far, I'm looking at DD, which is already back like 50 cents. So looking at 880 on BBIG, and I probably should have, yeah, exactly. No, 100%. Neil's still in vacation mode because as I was yapping away there, there's the turn. Tried to break the high again, stalled at 72, and instead of actually getting shares in the 60s, I am now watching it down at 50 already. So always go to the higher time frame first is what I'm trying to get at here, guys. But Vinco Ventures just made a big turn here on the 1 minute, obviously, as you can see.
I thought that I would. I came back, and obviously you're not in vacation. I mean, we're all in vacation mode at some point when the market's a little bit sleepy. But yeah, sometimes it just takes a little bit to get back. We were back in the saddle real quick when we came back, and Neil obviously back in the saddle as well. One day. First day back, we're here trading like maniacs. I like this rocket. We stopped talking about that quickly. It takes off there, just a volume spike. We weren't able to find any news. It's about 11.3% short. So right now, rocket's starting to build some bases here. I don't mind if we take out to 1720 there on rocket. I think that's well worth it. Let's just see if it gets going. And if it does, let's just take out 10 cents. Like, not trying to set the world on fire here. It only went up from 1712 up to 1740. It just looks like it went off there. DraftKings, so we did sell about a quarter of our swing position here on DraftKings, and that's just because of the move that it made back. Now we're very, very impressed with what's happening today and may sell some more today. DraftKings up that 5%. You can see still making moves up to 65 and change on the daily chart. We are well off there. We did sell it into this strength last Friday, which a couple days ago. So obviously if we're up $3 or $4, we did sell at about $61. So DraftKings now at these key levels. You want to talk about something that, I mean, again, 65.50 is right here on DraftKings. Unbelievable move from the bottom. It was just $42 about a month ago. So a good move up. That's why we did take some out, but just watch out. Very, very top heavy. But as it goes, it's season time now, right? I mean, it's NFL, it's college, everything is getting ready to be gambled on. And I know it's a good thing when my wife has a FanDuel or DraftKings account. So we'll wait to see if people are getting excited. I think DraftKings still has lots of room to run here as BBIG back to 850.
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, BBIG might have been a missed opportunity. I'm looking at Coupang here because you guys are talking about this name, and thank you guys for the super chat. Someone wanted your thoughts on PaySafe. I saw for $5, so we try to get to all these for sure. That might have slipped through a little bit, but Coupang, just always pull up the daily chart because it gives you a bit of a reference as to where the stock has been in the midst of a 10% move to the upside, but getting right into, and again, like these things tend to run right into obvious levels, like 32.5. Which is about the high of the day. It does stand out at least a little bit here, guys. So, when you have a quick look at it making another push into this range, this is sort of why it's going to, I don't know if it's going to stall out here, at least for the end of the day, but if it does consolidate, my 15 won't pull back, but you can see here in the daily chart, this is that 32.50 area that a few times, at least the last few weeks, has been resistance. The SOAC, like just the volume doesn't really seem to want to be there. And then we talked a little bit about not Cassava Sciences, we're still on that one, but Clover, which it has pulled back, right? But Clover now trying to bounce off VWAP and still above the 10 mark. So as much as it's pulling back in here, there's a decent chance, I mean, at least it could, I want to say, fall back into some support around that 10 or around VWAP. So I wouldn't write this one off completely. Some of these names are still doing impressive volume, 150 million shares now on Clover. And like DD, it had a big run and is giving a lot of it back. Right now, DD, again, this broke at 960. I was short in front of it like a tool, but it's now holding above that same breakout price. So a little bit of strength, despite the fact that some of these have come back in.
I just want to say, I mean, I'm doing it right now. You might want to clean up. Like, I realize I have an AMC stop order as well. AMC right now, like to trade this thing here today, and we did pretty good, man. We got that bottom wick down there, bottom wickens at $45, then ran this all the way up, and our best out there, $46.75. That's right where we're at right now. We gave up the ghost at the high side there. We talked about 48 maybe being a little bit of a resistance spot, and not was it a little bit, but it was a monstrous one, and we didn't even come close to cracking it. Well, we came close, within 25 pennies or so of that high, or 20 pennies. And now AMC just kind of doing its moves. You can see these tops. I mean, if we're going to look at this for tomorrow, and we will, but 47.50, 47.60 to that very top of 47.80. So we're just in a little bit of a zone right now. So I'm looking at it as if we break down below. We did have some support here at 46.30. But again, even a break of this, as you look, sort of like when you're drafting, right? You have different tiers here. So, I mean, if you break this tier, I just don't see us getting down to here to make that trade really worth it. So for me on AMC, we'll look for a long break again if we can get it, maybe through 47, and see if we test some of these tops. But right now, I'm not super in love with an AMC chart, but I am in love with Facebook. And I mean, I've talked about this. My last buy on this was 350. We sat there in front of 350, took the long, and now you're at 380. So that's about 10% or so in a month here, right off earnings. I had no idea why this was coming to the downside, so we sat right here, got long, and yeah, that was about July 30th, so why not? About a month or so, you get that 10%, and now look, Facebook's going to take out its all-time highs like any minute now. And last week and a couple weeks before, when we were back down in here, 360, I mean, I was talking about Facebook. Facebook's been more of a talk to me than even Microsoft. So just be very careful here, and we'll see what's going on with Facebook near all-time highs. I think we beat that tomorrow. You guys want a swing play? I love Facebook here long.
And 880 just broke on BBIG, so it does take out it takes out the top, gets to 87 or so. Looks like it's trying to, it'll probably try to shake some people out of this. But remember, we talked about this shooting in front of that 880. I would have shorted it if I could the first time through when it had a 70 top. Of course, it doesn't hold that. When you look at this break of this particular high, you're trying to get, probably like 935, 940, somewhere up in that range. So you need $9 to break. You're thinking about 30 to 40 cents for your first out, and you have to be able to give it at least that much room. Now you go back and look at this is about 845, 850. So you got to be able to give this like 30 to 40 cents on the way back in here on BBIG. It's up it's up exactly 10% at that high as well. So I'm going to give this some room. Yes, I could have scalped it short, but that trade has come and gone, as I just mentioned to you guys. And you can't sit around, sort of crying over spilt milk. You move on to the next one, and the long break is it for me on BBIG. Just want to show you the higher time frame because it'll look random going long at 880, but it doesn't look so random when you have a look at that 15-minute chart, that higher time frame that we always like. Still nothing really doing on Clover. I'm kind of waiting for that to pick back up in volume, I should say. And I know you were trading a Tesla this morning. I only traded NIO. I didn't trade Tesla, but that's barcoding central. But barcoding above 750. So I love that sign for Tesla. The market's not super strong today, but a hold above 750 for Tesla definitely makes me feel pretty good about that stock. And Sava, I don't know, this is going to be the trade of the day, and I'll have to, because I'm in position, I got to talk about, I took some out on this last move down to 48.30, and one of the things I did mention was we're day trading, right? So I can look at this trade off of a 15-minute chart and want to give it more room. And again, it was a short, an average of 59 with a top at 49, with a top at 51, with a first target at 47.50, the next target in front of 46, and then a hold to like a 38 to 42 level. But I got to be flat in this trade at the end of the day, which means if it holds this 47.50, which ended up being the best out that could be had in the morning, and then holds it again here at 1 o'clock, suddenly I have to start taking some profit for smaller wins and tighten up the stop. So no choice but to do it because I got to be flat at the end of the day. So I'll probably go in with just barely over like a break even, like 49.25 is going to have to be the stop at this particular point. I can tell you BBIG is starting to go a little bit. And by I say starting, we're about to break 9. But like I said, that first look will be around that 9 to 9.25 range. So 9 trying to be taken out here. But I think we can get to that 9.15 to 9.20. I'm looking at this on the 15-minute time frame, which I'm trying to do a better job of showing you when the levels are on the 15-minute.
Okay, 382. We'll look to go long here on Facebook if we do break this high. It's still on FTW. We're also going to take SFTW on that 1075 break as well. But right here on Facebook, we're going to watch this through this high of the day of 85 or so. We're going to take a long, that's a one-day chart, sorry. I can't do this because there's that wick there, but if Facebook decides to go through this high, 382.82 or so, we'll go long there with FB. We're pretty light on Pfizer, but I see that it's bouncing around. I'm just going to get out of this one. Real no point in holding this. Pfizer's just not doing anything. If anything, I think it may fail here, but I mean, we can hold. I mean, why not we just hold this? 46.50 was going to be my out anyways, so we could take a 15-cent hit on Pfizer and not worry. We're pretty light on it. I'm still excited for Facebook. And then SFTW here. We talked, oops, that's a New York stock. I'm doing the same thing here. All these SPACs seem to be on New York. SFTW, let's find out the exact name of this place. SFTW, I know Brandon's had this to us a couple times. It is, Osprey Tech. Okay, that makes sense. SPAC, so at one point was 10. Remember, all the SPACs are going to hover around $10 because you get your money back. So, if you buy something at like $9.50 right now, they're going to have to return. This is the risk of having a SPAC. After a certain amount of time, they're going to have to return you that money. So that's why this getting a pop here, I guess, on a potential deal. So we'll wait to see what's going to happen here. Osprey Technology, Tech Acquisition Corp, right here. So SFTW. I don't mind if it takes out the top of 1070, but again, you know what? I don't really want to play these games. Actually, you know what? I'm canceling this. Some of these names that have nothing to do with anything, I'm just not super interested. What's up, Brendan?
Another one testing day highs here, guys. Corsair, I just checked again, still around 9.5%, 10% on the short interest for this one, but CRSR just testing day highs here on volume.
On volume, as you can probably tell if you've been watching, BBIG did make that push through that. It was a battle at 9 even. It just stalled out here at about 9.13. I mean, I liked the 9.25, but I saw that battle being waged, and I took some out here at the top here. I'll go to the 15 because that's where you really need to be looking. This is where I think we should be slowing down, like that quarter mark, maybe even a little bit higher into that 9.50, but it just stalled at 9.13. So I did take some out, was able to get the top there when it battled at 9 even. I'm still going to give this one back into that 8.45 range. Still looks like it's trying to go. This other one, I kind of feel like, and again, I like sympathy plays, right? Like if you see all these SPACs going, and then you get a big volume spike like this and a clean even dollar break on this SOAC, fine. What I shouldn't have done here is looked a gift horse in the mouth and gotten greedy, because I see all these other ones halting and said to myself, why not this? I mean, it only has a like 25 or 26 million float or whatever it is, thinking it might want to go as well, but not churning through more volume. It does stall out at 13. I probably could have just taken the dollar winner off on everything and walked away from the trade. Now we'll wait for break even to come through. Volume dying out. I don't want to turn it into a losing trade. That's why we'll take it out if it does break that 9 even. And when it comes over to where are you? That Clover, it just touched on the 3 minute, anyways. VWAP here, but it's still hovering above on the one. Kind of look at 3 minute charts up here, but on the 1 minute, still holding above, and that's 10.25. So kind of look at that level. I think if it were to base out there, maybe get a bit more consolidation, I might be jumping into the long as opposed to waiting. I feel pretty comfortable holding BBIG, which is actually doing volume, SOAC, which at this point is a shot play with the shares that we have left, and Sava, which is a play from this morning. No need to force anything, because it feels like the way this afternoon has gone, there's just been so many of these stocks popping up from time to time. You just monitor that halt list. Something's going to go for sure.
Yeah, that's the idea. I think something's going to go at some point for sure. But we're going to wait to see Ford maybe here. On a nice move up, Ford basically barcodes all day long. And I don't know if this is going to be a play on news. I don't think so, but maybe. Volume picking up, Brendan, on Ford at about 240 or so. Maybe they just released new car sales or something like that. I think that was last week, but Ford right now, I'm an investor in this, so let's hear what Brendan has to say.
Yeah, they picked up a former Apple and Tesla executive. That was that pop going back a little while ago, but it was also on CNBC. But apparently a former Apple and Tesla executive being picked up. Another one here, guys, Skills starting to go. Their CEO currently on CNBC. Talking about the NFL season coming up here as well. So SKLZ on the move.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL season, it's good. Look, it's obviously going to catch everyone's imagination. I sort of feel like this is one of those, you knew it was coming. You knew college football was going to be back. You know the betting is going to go in there. You've been waiting for some of these to run. Now, Skills, at least when you look at the daily chart, this has some... it's got some juice if we're breaking out here. It has made moves past this 1250 area before, at least especially recently, and this is what I'm talking about when you go to the 15-minute, but stalling hard at 1380 to 14 even. But I look back at what this lower high was at like 1260, and that sort of screams breakout. It's not that different from the one in BBIG, which is coming right back into 880, where you look at it on the you'd look 1250 if you're just looking at the 1 minute. Current high of the day, nice round number. When you kind of pull it back, you say to yourself, allow it to break 1250, allow it to hold above there, and let's see it break 1260 to the upside on skills, and then I want that breakout long on the 15-minute.
All right, so we have right now Facebook. We just take a new position, so we'll punch it out. We'll see what happens right now with Facebook to the high side right now, 382.78. The market's starting to dip down. This may, I don't know if we're going to get caught here or not. It's not a hard position, but it's just bouncing off of 382. I liked it because it was the high of the day, so we are going to have to hold this one a little bit here and see if it can take out some of those big levels. So we'll just wait on Facebook now. I think there's still some opportunity, but again, we dip down into this area here, 382 even. So again, we put a light position on purpose right now so that we can probably think about, and again, oh man, I hate that this is like this on this chart, but if you see this, we'll bring down E-signal here on a 3-minute chart. It's just cruising all the way to the upside here, taking out or watching VWAP go upside here, and then you have some moving averages along with it. So I still like Facebook. If we dip back down in to the moving average, would be 382.50. So that's probably a good spot to get in. And then if we can crack below 381.75 is where we'll start to get out. So I like Facebook. This could be a losing trade for us, but again, with only 40 minutes to go, we don't put on huge shares right now as we head out for the rest of the day. So let's just try to find out some good positions. 382.40 or so is a good average in spot, then 382 again, and then honestly, if we break down, then we're going to be gone. So let's wait. Let's wait on that 382.40. Let's try to take something around here. 382. I guess it's the same thing. 382.40. I'm fine with. So let's take some more shares there, and then we'll wait for this area of concern right here to get broken. And if that happens, then we're going to slap out of that one for about $1. So 382 and change. We'll see if that can come through here for Facebook. What's up, B?
So there was that IRNT this morning, which was a Russian steel company. There was also this one, MTL, up huge today. Just made a day high, in fact, on decent volume here as well. 42% still. Another, guys, Russian steel company with no news today.
Because of course, and that was my best talk this morning. If you're watching in the morning show, was not MTL, but IRNT, and definitely should have had it. Just probably the same way on Clover here, as I'm looking at it. I'll get off the bottom, off of this like 1035 right now, breaking even higher. And again, like probably could have bought that dip. I talked about it down here at like 1025 and then didn't actually catch it. So bit of a missed opportunity. He is running towards this high, but if you look at how it wicked through 11, remember 1125 in the daily chart? I'd still like to see, you want to see it breaking that 11 quarter if you think it has another leg to it, as BBIG comes right back to that 880. So this one's holding up as well, BBIG. I'd like to see 1125 break if you're going to be bullish. It has another chance to retest that top. If it fails and cannot test that high, I would like to short at 11 with that high of the day is my out. I did get into skills there. It just broke that 1260. 1250 at the time looked pretty rosy as the high of the day, but on the 15-minute chart, 60 was the level I liked. So got 61s to the long side. Skills to pay the bills, as they say. Finally into something like this. I feel like it's been SPAC Central for me today. So this is a name we traded before. I love the look and the setup of this. Although, look, you got to be thinking take some out here in front of the 75 to 90 mark. So when we do get into that range, I will take a first out on skills. So far, so good to the upside. If it does break 13, there is all kinds of runway to about 13. I call it 1350 or so.
Yeah, we like the skills there. We're watching Cassava Sciences come right back in to some of these levels that, I'm not concerned with, but this is probably a decent out if we can get this, man. I mean, we're $2.5 in the money. This would put us that $3 and change in the money. And then if we bounce off this again on that bottom, 47.39, it doesn't matter the 39 part, but 47 and change here off of that short. I mean, we may just have to cover this. So let's put some bids here. I mean, if it cracks lower and it breaks, then it breaks. But 47.75 or so, not too far away, that'll be a $3 win. So I think that we should be able to capture some profit on this, and then we'll wait to see where we go from there. JD making some moves, Penn to $84 again right now, Clover to 10.75, BBIG back down through 9. We could check out Loose Lucid quickly here as well, as that was a big runner a couple weeks ago, or was it last week, when the pipe came up for expiration. And now, yeah, so there's Lucid, big time move down to 15, and then all the way back up, and we're just at $20 again here for it was a crazy day. It wound up down and then up. It was just nuts for Lucid on that day. So 19 bottom, 20 top, a nice little dollar range here for LCID. This is probably a good one. Is there any size here at 20? I think this is worth a shot to the short side. Let's short Lucid right now as we're getting very, very close to that 20, and see if we can't, even just take a dime off that. I'll be pretty happy. So Lucid to the short side. Let's see if that'll work here into the close.
Yeah, why not? That's a crazy move there. Like I just saw the battle again being waged on BBIG at 9 even, so I'm going to take more shares out there, literally at 9. But it's skill. Someone asked, like, what order did I put in? Stop limit, right? So my routing key is NASDAQ scan, but it's whatever routing key you want to use. So the second there was a print above 1260, which is 1261, I was actually able to remove liquidity at 1261 on the break. Did I look a gift horse in the mouth? Yeah, sure. It went up 10 cents and came right back in, but I wasn't really shooting for a 10-cent move on that breakout trade. More in that 75 to 90 range. I actually have an offer sitting in front of sitting right at about that 1280 mark. If it gets up there, I'll take some out. If we actually hold 1270 a second time, okay, fine, I'll scalp some out there and then look for a re-entry. So skills to the long side, BBIG still trying to go. I still think we can get to that 930, 940 range. And then, of course, Sava at some point, you're just going to have to take a profit on that name because we only have 35 minutes to go. And it's not like BBIG I can hold. I just got into that trade. Skills just got into that trade. I mean, Sava, we've been in it all morning long thinking it could have a bigger move. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's for the rest of the week. It plays off that 51 level. But until it happens, we're going to be flat at the end of the day. This Clover stalled out kind of randomly here at 1075. I'd love to see a consolidation here, maybe above 1065, so 1050 to 1060, and that would set you up for a quick little break at 1075. Clover would be a name you might want to watch out for come 350. You never know with these imbalances. I'm not expecting anything crazy, but any one of these names doing big volume, maybe watch out for that 350 where you could get a bit of a move.
Yeah, so coming up, so it's still a while away right now, but I'm going to go into Roblox here, taking out the high of the day right now, cracking through 85. So let's play some of the momentum in Roblox, long 19s or 19 and change right now in RBLX. And again, Neil and I trading not CFDs. I see someone talking about CFDs, but we're trading the actual stock here, so the actual physical stocks. We have to be flat at 4 o'clock, which is why, when we go back and forth here on some of these names, we're not holding them for very long because we have to be flat. And whether or not it moves the next half hour is really all that matters to us. So there goes Roblox. Let's play some of the momentum to the upside. I just think it wants to take it out and keep going because it did. So there's that 85.06 or so. It took it out. Now let's see if it wants to keep rolling to the high side now, Roblox. And again, some outs, if we're in trouble, it's going to have to be down here, like 84.50. So, but if it starts rolling over, we probably print down there. So we'll take one average price here, 84.80 or so, if it does come back in. But right now, I do like Roblox to the long side. We'll see if it can work. Sava, we've talked about where we like that. I don't know if it moves now. It's still here, and I put a bid down in here. It's 47.80 and change. So if we can get that movement, that will be pretty good. We talked also about Ethereum. So Ethereum had a very nice day today, depending on which side of the trade you're on. It had some big time crashes. Maybe we can show you. As we were basically ending the show, Ethereum took a deep dive. I know Coinbase, I think I saw something about Kraken, and I know a few other, I guess, platforms. I don't know if it's just charting or exchanges. You guys can tell us if you had any problems.
You couldn't execute for a bit on Coinbase.
Right, so I tried to buy some shares there, missed it at the bottom. Well, shares, whatever, it doesn't matter. Ethereum, so some coins, I guess, or Ether. And now we'll wait to hear 3,600. So came all the way back. I mean, this was a huge crash, basically a flash crash from 3,800. And I'm calling it a flash crash because it was in about a half hour. So, it was pretty orderly until this kind of happened, until it broke like 3,300. It was pretty orderly, and then it just went all the way down, touches 29 even to the mark, apparently on Kraken, and then comes all the way back to where we are right now. And now we're just chilling out as if it was just a normal day for Ethereum. So nothing to see here for Ethereum, but hey, I think you got to buy any dip, especially like when you have crashes. And yeah, this must be a problem. This is showing 42,000 exactly there. But when you get a crash from 50 to 42,000 there on Bitcoin, like anything like this, these quick crash, I think you need to buy those bottoms. Now, you're never going to get the very bottom, but let it take out one candle ahead of you and then take it. So 43,000 should have probably been bought there. But again, I wasn't able to, and that just goes to show you that some of these exchanges still do have a little bit of work to do.
100%.
You know, when these names are going crazy, Coupang, Vinco Ventures, things like that, obviously the NASDAQ and NYSE can hold some of those moves, but some of these exchanges still have work to do on that front. Roblox trying to go, it just went up to 30s there. We're long, what are we long, 19s? But we need this to go a little more.
Yeah, and the gamer stream there, it's those crypto brokerages' way of halting. Hey man, maybe that's going to be the case. I'm not always going to jump into the conspiracy theories or whatnot, but things get out of hand. Sometimes things slow down every now and then, and I'm not going to sit there and say that's what it is, but it's not the most ridiculous thing I've heard. We talked about Coupang here a little bit, and this is on a 15-minute chart, just so you can see, but it did just pump into 33 even, broke by a penny, now is coming back in here, and on the high, I mean, it's 330. I don't even know why I'm looking at a 15-minute chart at that point. This is what it looks like here when it tested to the upside. Now, I wasn't watching the stock to be able to confirm this was just a spike up and a reversal or just a crazy print. But you know, if that's legitimate, you know, that does really sound, I don't really think it is. I mean, we can check it on eSignal maybe. But either way, it is setting up for a top. We talked about this on the daily chart that right around this 3250 is an area of concern for it to pull back anyway. So you know, I'm looking at this and saying to myself, there's all kinds of reason to look for a short in front of 33 even. Just pop the stop order at 3302 because it happened to break by a penny. That's splitting hairs, but you know, it's not about like just finding a way to fight the top here, but I got to work into position on Coupang if I can. So a 33 stop, getting 74s in. So add that to, I mean, I'm short Sava, but really that's all day long. So it's long skills, which is now back a couple of pennies below that 60 level. And then still BBIG holding above $9 for now. Add to that CPNG to the short side. I'll give it to the high of the day.
Yeah, Coupang. Yeah, it looks like the market is coming off. I mean, we have Facebook long and Roblox long. So we talked about getting some more Roblox at 84.80 or so. So we'll have a bid there. We'll see if that can fill. And then, yeah, 30 minutes to go here into the day. So only 28 minutes left now. So we'll see. I mean, when you're taking positions like this, the NASDAQ's right at a level right now that, you know, we resisted it all morning until eventually we broke. And like the NASDAQ's not doing anything. This is a very, very typical September day here, early September anyways. I believe the market's going to start to wake up a little bit here. But you're just starting to break down. So if the NASDAQ can't hold any of this, we are going to put some losers on the board here with Roblox and Facebook. This is why we're pretty light. I mean, we really celebrate the wins in the morning. You know, with bigger shares, that's where we trade the best. The power hour, we're going to find some names that we think are hitting some key levels. And Roblox through 85, that's a good one. I like the trade. I don't have any problems with it. Just don't want to average in right here. Would rather average in lower. So we'll wait for that to come through. And then Facebook still doing absolutely, like I'm talking like these are losing trades. I mean, we're out of the money 15 cents on Facebook and 12 cents on Roblox, which are both monster stocks that can move. So let's wait for those to see if it can get going here as I look for more. NMTC.
That halted a few times.
That's been halting a few times as well. So NMTC back to 10 and change, it looks like. Also, that one's not New York, of course. Yeah, so it's not halted now. 7.93 million shares and doing a little bit of a dance here. Looking like it wants to take it out. I think you got to get to 550 or so before we start talking about it again. Maybe even this halt level of 565. So I don't know if we get there now with only 27 minutes to go, but we're getting very, very close here. We're going to have the Toronto imbalances coming out soon, so those should be exciting to look at. And we're going to average in, like I said, to Facebook and to Roblox one time.
And here comes, look, BBIG Vinco is again trying to take out this top. So it's been several times, you know, stalling out at that 915 area. And here's another battle. I'm looking at this, of course, at the higher time frame and just wanting to see that further breakout. We're still holding on to position here. It was an 880 level. We got 881 actually. So if we can get into that 935, I'll just take the trade off. I'm not trying to sit there holding it into 4 o'clock or anything like that. I've got to be flat at the end of the day. But this is a breakout that I probably liked a little bit better than Skills. Skills stalling out a little bit here, and I'm giving that to about 1240 to 1245. So that's where my range is going to be. I know I just put that one in the chat for you guys, but I might as well say it out loud. There it is, finally BBIG breaking. Now we got like 920 to the upside. I'm looking right in this range. It was right here at 930 that it tried to get through if you go into last week, installed at 950. So I'd like to see it press into that range, and then I can try and take it out in the middle of it. BBIG, come on, Biggie. I mean, I can't call it Biggie. That's kind of weak because it's Vinco Ventures.
You just got to give it one more chance. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Slow claps.
Oh, I should know. Sorry. Start
trading.
Sorry, I got to get out of the trade first and then give the slow cap.
Yeah,
clap.
exactly.
There we go. So I just got out. We talked about the target range. I just got out at 935 in the top. I had a target. I wanted that break. I'm not going to sit here looking gift horses in the mouth, which, by the way, looking gift horse in the mouth, it's a saying. It means that you shouldn't be ungrateful about a gift that the market gives you. So it goes right into the target range I want after stalling out and retesting that 880 level. Now I can actually think about short. If I like a short here around 950, I'll obviously have to be flat. I can't go long and short at the same time. Now I'm going to be looking to see if it can hold 950 for a reversal on BBIG.
Yeah, these guys are loving this. Yeah, juicy trade. BBIG is ready to die. Yeah, you guys got that one. So good on all y'all out there. Shout out to, you know what? I think it's the anniversary of when Tupac got shot. Actually, not his death, because he died 9 days after in the hospital. So what's up to all those guys? Of course, are they still with us? Nobody knows. Apparently.
All eyes on us, though.
That's right. Good one. Yeah, exactly. Okay. ZIOP moving around again. What about MMAT? What up, cereal box? We could talk about MMAT here again. Meta Materials Inc. right now. Nice movement off the bottom, if you're calling $5 the bottom, but there it is right here. Looking like it wants to take this out, man. 550, not just mentioning because you use cereal, but what is your favorite cereal? I bought my kids Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Lucky Charms, and then the wife basically almost killed me because there's too much sugar involved in those cereals. Come on. All right. So 550 here. I like that for Meta Materials. We may not have enough time left, but this is a name that can get going. We've seen it in the 100 millions or so before. Now you're up to 25 million today. This is a good little spot there. Check it out on the daily chart, which of course isn't loading for me. But MMAT, what was it, $8 or so last week, or is that really the high? No, 11 in charge. But last week there was 650 or so. So actually holding up quite well there. Maybe a long back to 450, but I don't mind a 550 break right now.
Yeah, and like I talked about getting out of BBIG to look for a short. It didn't really even give a chance. Like, it got up, and this is me getting out on the way up. It got a few pennies higher to 943, but it really didn't spend any time or trade up in that range very long to get a short off at 950. But of course, had to get flat. So the top, at least for now, it seems to be in on BBIG. But I can tell you, well, okay, maybe make another run at that high of the day here, guys. So if it does reverse at 950, I want to be all over it if I can. But I got to get the skills, because this one not looking like it's as good a break. Now, I like BBIG a little bit better. I talked about maybe looking a gift horse in the mouth on skills. I'm sure you're going to say, why wouldn't you go long at this break at 1250? And again, this had more to do with looking at this higher time frame and liking this 1260 level a little bit better than that 1250. I could be wrong about that. It looks like I might be. Certainly on skills. It hasn't broken that 40 to 45, so I'm still going to be long in the trade. But if it does literally nothing, I'll probably just cover it whatever. If I can cover it flat before 350, I'll go ahead and do that. Because if it can't break out from this range and we're still trading up and down 5 to 10 pennies from this point, there's no reason that I should be holding on to that trade at the end. And then CPNG, which I thought would be making some power moves. That's in New York, of course, Coupang. How many times am I typing the wrong thing in?
This can't be the truth. But like, honestly, both my daily chart and my minute chart just crashed. And Neil, don't take this personally, but last week I didn't have too many problems.
That's my fault,
bro. So
I'm like the chart.
I don't know.
I use and abuse the charts. I know
you're taking up too much data.
My bad. My bad.
But I have no idea what's going on. But anyways, just talking about that. Okay, so we did average into Facebook there. It's getting ready to get out. We talked about the NASDAQ having a problem here. You know what? There still is imbalances to come out. So, maybe that sort of sparks it. We're out of the money 50 cents now on the total combined position here. And we are coming back into some of these levels. Facebook was, I can't do that. Facebook was getting ready to go to the high. Well, it did basically break the high of the day right there. Went into the money again for us at that spot, but we didn't do anything about it. Up to 383. Looks like we've stopped there a couple times. So we're going to have to hold out on this one and just wait to see where we get out. I did mark down. We want to get out at 381.70 or so into this area.
Is this true?
That looks like that's coming faster than we had hoped. What?
Emersing saying here, last week Sean had to walk away from the computer. He got so mad at his charts. That actually happened?
No. I mean, were you here when I walked away?
No, I never seen you do that.
Okay, I don't remember, but there was one time when I said looking a gift horse in the mouth, and I said I'll look this computer in the mouth or something like that. So there was issues last week, but I'm telling you, like it was one chart. I just had like both of them crash, and I was trying a 7-minute chart for a while, but like I said, too much.
You
data.
know, so basically what you need to do, we need like a charting, like a Joe Boo or something.
I don't know what we
right?
need, man.
They see we put an idol right here next to the Palantir hat. We give it some rum, like you did, like Serrano
Joe
did.
Boo, yep, Serrano,
yep. To give to Joe Boo.
Because
we'll
Serrano can't hit curveballs.
Can't hit curveball,
Right.
right? So anyways, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, please, like just at some point, like just watch Major League. It's one of the funniest movies of all time. Even if you don't like baseball.
By the way, like we love Arun, right? But I was dropping a lot of these things to Arun, and he was like, huh? Like Arun's like, I don't know anything about
This
anything.
happened when you were gone as well.
Right.
I was dropping references, like I was
Yeah.
dropping like rap lyrics on him.
I'm like,
I
Arun,
love
man.
Arun. The guy is an unbelievable trader. But you know, the flow isn't the same. Sean and I have known each other obviously a really long time. We're about the same age. I'm not going to say how old that is. You guys can obviously all figure that out. Just so you know, this Coupang.
Let's put
really,
it this way: we're not in the 20s or the 30s.
I mean, yeah, you guys could have figured that out by like the gray that you can see here. Yeah, that's kind of obvious. But we date ourselves all the time with
It's
talking.
not. It's
Biggie.
not Billy Mays Hayes. It's Willie Mays.
Billy Mays Hayes, Ronnie
Billy
Boy,
Mays
Ronnie
Hayes.
Boy, Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah,
man.
Willie Mays Hayes, guys. Willie
Run
Mays
like
Hayes.
Mays, but you hit like you know what. And CPNG moves like you know what, which is absolute trash. This is barcode central, so it has tried to break. These look like dark pool prints at 33, so I'm kind of feeling like this top that I have, you know, these 3304s, forget that. Your real high looks like it's actually 3280, and the lack of movement has me want to put a stop right at 3280, because like, forget about giving this an extra 25 cents if it's not gonna move. We're now past 340, so I don't mind Sava that's sitting in the money. Skills, like I said, if it can't start moving before like 350, I'll cover that one as well, but I'm gonna tighten up the stop. And the reason I'm tightening up the stop here is just because if there's a lack of activity, right, like the volume is trying to pick up here, you know, if it's barcoding volume and barcoding here, at the end of the day, I'm expecting it to at least start to roll over. If it's just sitting off of the high, why am I throwing away an extra 25 cents if it doesn't want to show me the bigger potential move into the downside? So the longer this takes to happen, the more likely I'm going to start to walk away from it. BBIG here, so maybe we did get out of this one too early. I really don't have, again, I don't have a problem with the exit. It's still trying to get through that 950. This is now like the 4th or 5th test here on the 1-minute chart. You know, this time 46 is the high. If it touches like 46, 47 and turns again, I'm looking to short this one finally at 935. I did have to pay like 1 cent a share to short this stock. It wasn't free shorts.
Oops. Okay. Just here we go. Toronto imbalances. We're looking for M's, not K's, and we only got K's, and we don't even have very many of them. So there it is. Nothing to look at on the Toronto side today for those of you guys that trade Toronto imbalances or exchange anyways. This is what this is, and there's nothing here. Sometimes if you see like a bunch of banks with sells or something like that, then maybe you can head over to that sector and have a quick gander there. Okay, so this Facebook ripped back up. So we did take out one of our last fills there at right here, actually, and then it managed to come back up, and we took that out. So again, it's still going to be a loser, but our average price is right back in here. So that was about 20 cents or so. So you know, we took a little bit out there. We still hold 2/3 of this trade, as you can see. You know, 1, 2, 3, and only one out. So we're hoping it can come back to the upside there. And again, we are sort of resting on some good news, hopefully coming at 350. Hopefully we can hold out until then. We did take a nice little long there in Roblox as well. So our average price is right here. So we're flat on Roblox right now, and we are down a little bit on Facebook. And Sava, a nice $2.70 winner. We're looking to get out on the low side of that one, but we do. Yeah, go ahead. And
sorry, before we go to Brennan, someone just guessed our ages, and this is way too creative.
I saw someone said that you were 48.
Someone said Sava minus skills, and I wish that were true. Brennan?
It's not.
I have to do that math
Right now.
Probably close, but no. DAIO, guys, just breaking out here to the upside. Day highs for Data Corp. Another one with a minuscule little float. 7.8 million shares for DAIO.
I got to give a shout out to everybody, obviously in Canada. What's up to my Canadian people? And then a little known fact, maybe more known than I think because I keep advertising it. The 4 of us, including Trader Pratt, all from Brampton. So shout out to Brampton. If you know, and you don't say anything, Neil.
Of course, I know the answer to it without looking.
I didn't even say ask a question yet,
I'm gonna know.
you do know the answer to this one as well, 100%. So what is Brampton's proper. See, I feel like if this was Instagram, I would say wrong guesses only. But what is the proper, okay, nickname for Brampton? So I don't know if there's like an official name. It's something town. Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Only right.
But there's a couple that I couldn't say.
Right, I know. So only right answers. Right answers only. We'll see if people can get that without Googling it there. Valeria is 23. Brampton is Compton. Yep, that's pretty close to being right on that one. Okay, Facebook goes all the way back up. We still are waiting there. B-Town? No. Okay, so
45? I'm not 45. Games. Sorry, I'm not 45 yet.
No, not yet. 44 and 3/4. No, it's not B-Town, it's not Browntown, it's not all this, not Boomtown. Okay, I will, maybe I should tell everybody. Okay, the answer that I was looking for was actually Flower Town, because
it is Flower.
It is Flower Town, and little known, a lot of people don't know that, so that's why we say that.
Like I said, there's another one that I can't say, but I'm not going to say.
This is why it's all Bramladesh. I mean, this is great. We know all these. There's Singdale as well. There's a lot happening in Brampton. We love Brampton, and maybe I should not have gone down this road. But
what?
I did, and welcome to the jungle. This is what I do every single day. So, yeah, this is wrong. I was meaning Flower Town. I mean, that was the point of all of this, but anyways.
Meanwhile, why not hold on to BBIG? He just went to $10 for crying. Well, $9.88. I mean, $10, whatever. Same thing. So, anyways, that reversal at 950 never happened. And again, this is why when I look for a short stock like this, like it has to test at 50, and then it has to show me some failures. It just does not have the selling in there to sustain these levels. So I didn't actually find my way into a short, thank goodness. So you can pay for shorts and then leave them. You don't have to use them because if you force the action, this is what will happen to you. $10 on the horizon here. I don't know, $10 is an even number. On the daily chart, it's a little something, I guess, but I don't want to touch it. I'm staying away. I'm already in the short, guys, on Coupang, and I feel like that one still has a chance to go. But BBIG,
Facebook.
What an unbelievable run that's been. Looking like it's going to top that 10, maybe even after hours though.
All right, guys, starting to line up some cash here as this starts to go up. So Facebook's starting to make a move finally now for us. So out a little bit there, out a little bit there. And, now we're good to go here on Facebook. Hopefully 30 cents in the money. Still needs to go up a little bit higher before we can really say that we made a good trade here. I still think we should take out the high of the day. No more outs until that does happen, everybody. So we're going to wait for that one coming out. Okay, here we go. So I just went to Brampton's, I guess it's Flower City, it looks like right here. So this is from Wikipedia. Brampton, right there, city of Brampton. I haven't been able to read. There it is, right there. The city was once known as the Flower Town of Canada. So right there. So that's the name that we're looking for. I guess not Flower Town, Flower City, I guess, is what we're the right answer there.
Is it? I always thought it was Flower Town.
See, Prad's saying B Town, stuff like that. I thought it was Flower Town as well.
I think you're right.
This is according to Wikipedia, which anybody can write on. I remember one time changing some things on Wikipedia. That was pretty funny. I think now they start banning people for doing that, so we won't talk about that.
We did that to one of our traders back in the day.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he was a football player, and we were basically trash talking him. There, we put some. It was for U of T, remember?
This won't make any sense to you, but there's a university in Canada that was so bad at football for like 4 years they didn't win a game, and we knew the captain during that run. He was a trader on our floor, and when he graduated, I think they won their first game in 4 years, literally the next year. So we kind of clown him over there.
By the way, shout out to the Canadian tennis players.
Really smart guy.
By the way, Andreescu last night lost, but it was she lost in the quarters, but it was 3.5 hours, and she's playing much better now. Asim from Quebec, playing really well on the men's side, and then Leylah Fernandez taking out Osaka on the female side, and she's doing big things right now. But let's just keep moving on side.
MTL.
As BBIG, wow, up to 960. What's that MMAT? Did that break through yet? 550? No, that did not go. So it looks like BBIG, Neil, the one that you had there. And again, yeah, thanks to everybody out there for that name. That looks like that's starting to go. And then I want to talk.
Sean mentioned,
Sean. Go ahead.
Brendan mentioned MTL there, and I kind of was like, whatever, that stock wasn't doing anything all morning. And then it actually spiked through 490. It's since pulled back. So there are some breakouts still happening. And I said skills at 349. If it doesn't move, it's still 5 cents out of the money. It never went more than like 5 to 10 cents in the money. I'll have to cover that one. But MTL could be a bit of a mover here. BBIG did turn off a 10 even, so whatever. I just said I'd stay away from it. Put my hands off the keyboard. I should have shorted 10. It looks like we'll have to cover Cassava Sciences. It looks like it might not break much lower than this 48 where it is right now, Sean.
People said, imagine Sean trading and selling flowers. Yeah, I don't know what
kind of flower would you sell, Sean?
I would probably. I like roses. I don't mind roses. I think roses are really nice. Some carnations maybe, and then maybe some special flower, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so Palantir.
That's kind of what I.
Yeah, I know. You know that's what I'm saying. Okay, down to 26.35. I just want to identify this for tomorrow because it's a little bit too late right now, as in balances are going to come out in 10 seconds. Palantir, during this dip down, we did talk a little bit about that, and we didn't get any long because we weren't sure where the bottoms are going to be. So we can identify this for tomorrow. 26 and change. I mean, it's going to come down now. We'll see where that's going. Here's that's the Canadian balances. Let's just check out New York quickly here to see what's coming through. TAL, okay, don't even know why that would be there. Maybe there's an imbalance there. Zynga always seems to be there. Uber, nice moves back the last little bit on Uber, although it's still at 41. And then other than that, I don't really see anything that I'm in here, so I don't see Roblox or Facebook, although both now nicely in the money. By nicely, I mean this is a dime in the money. Who cares? And then Roblox also a dime in the money, so we'll see if they can both take out day's high.
At this point, I would take a dime on Coupang because it's just not going anywhere. I took off that skills trade because I said if it doesn't move, I would have to get out of it. Coupang, same thing, man. If I'm going to tighten the stop up to risk literally 6 or 7 cents, then I better be taking some out here if it's going to give me that 10-cent win, which I'm just going to go ahead and do. Running out of time, but I mean, there's a few earnings here, Brendan. We didn't talk about it at the end of the morning show, but the one in the middle of that board is your personal stock, Brendo.
Trying to see what that is. Oh, Data Group. No. That's Robbie's personal stock, not mine. Our friend Robbie is off on vacation for the next couple of weeks.
The data, I think.
But yeah, let's. I mean, we're not really in earnings season anymore, guys. But yeah, there I go again. Here we go. Tonight and tomorrow morning for earnings.
Dada. There it is, Steve. We have a graphic. You have that one?
I have it right here.
Dada.
There we go.
Yeah, so Rob, of course, on vacation. He makes all the graphics for us. They're a lot of fun. Hope he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, I just hope he's not watching right now.
If he's watching, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because then he's not enjoying himself to the full extent because Rob is away and he'll be back soon. We've been barbecuing profits all weekend and today, so hopefully you had a good time with us here today. It's only 3:52 right now, and we're just watching some of these trades go in for imbalances. There's not much on there. We'll show them one more time. And what these are market on close orders, so we can find out TAL. But see, when in volumes like this, you don't get much movement on this one. Of course, this is an educational name from China. So, 46 million shares, not much. This 5 million shares, not really doing too much to it. You could see even since that time, it's been on the downside, and this is a bid. Zynga here, not bad. I see 2 million shares into the sell side, so this is starting to apply some pressure on Zynga, although I believe it probably pairs off. Oh, Open Door. Okay, this is another name that was super exciting off earnings not too long ago, but Open Door with a bid, so that may get going. This is a name that got off the schneid as well, from 14 bucks up to 20, so that's a good one. We need to find some more good quality companies. I don't know if they're good quality, but recently IPO'd companies that did make some nice moves to the downside here that are kind of changing the game. So that's what Kathy Wood does with ARK, trying to find some beat up names, which reminds me, I like UiPath, and I haven't bought this yet. I'm hoping it goes down even more, $62. If there's ever a flash crash, I do like UiPath coming through as well. Roblox, man, we're 10 cents in the money. Let's just take out one piece now. And then, I don't know. I mean, damn it, no, oh God. Okay, I was going to say my chart's crashing again, but we'll wait to see. We're right up to this level. I have an offer sitting here anyways at 85.18, so we'll take another piece off. Yeah, see, now it's coming back down. I don't know. These trades at the end of the day really on these big caps aren't the key. So we're going to trade a lot more smaller ones tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
That's the thing, right? Like I said, even Coupang, it's like you think a stock going up 10% would have a retracement in it. We'll take the small amount here. So I don't know. I'll go with, I haven't hit this one yet. So we'll go winner, chicken dinner because why not? And you didn't use it in the morning and we had chicken thighs for lunch, which were, I mean, they were actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie, but I should have had an extra one because there was more. But I kind of felt I was being disciplined about it. Trade discipline, eat discipline. I don't know why not. But CPNG got about a couple of minutes. If it hasn't broken, 32.50, I'll probably just take it out, continue sliding that stop. And the same thing with Sava. It's right there at 48. I don't think it would have any chance. BBIG, I was just putting out in the chat here for you guys. If you go to look at this, I mean, the daily chart's kind of choppy, but it looks a little bit more clean here. If I can pull back the 15-minute, right? Like, look at that, like 10, 10, and then you get this break at 10 up to $12. I mean, that's a bit of a pattern that you might recognize. I feel like there's going to be some shorts that are like, oh yeah, baby, that's the top kind of feel off of $10, and I want to be holding that one overnight, which could give an extra catalyst, especially if it tries to break. I'd just be cautious about, like if this one does make a move like that into that 12 level in the pre-market, if it doesn't break it, it kind of would be primed to slide back in there. I'd be worried if it didn't break that 12 even in post or pre. You still have a lot of resistance, I think, in this range, and probably a lot of shorts are going to be involved in that BBIG, at least from what I can tell. Sava, you're kind of boring me. And then I mentioned getting out of skills. But the interesting thing about that trade is it doesn't really move obviously on that breakout. But if you go to like the 1 minute chart, it's been holding 1250 like pretty well on this pullback. So I got out of it because the break just didn't move, and it's still not going anywhere at the end of the day. But a bit of a strong play here above that 1250. Want to make sure we're watching this one tomorrow above that price.
Okay, so we'll just go to 382.50 or so and see if we can get this out on Facebook, putting us profitable on the name. So we'll just see. We'll see if it goes a little bit higher than that. Back up to here. Why not? Let's see if Facebook can get to 382.75 or so there. We'll cash out a little bit more now because it's just not moving. And then we did get out of our Roblox, but again, it's like in here, out there, out in the middle for 10 cents. We talked about that. So my average price really is 85. So if you want to take the combined trade, but that's what's happening right now with Roblox. Clover, yeah, back up to 1075. That's starting to move a little bit. Palantir's not doing anything. We just talked about Facebook. Let's check out right now AMD just to see if there's anything for tomorrow coming up here on AMD. We did talk about Dada moving around. That could actually be a play for tomorrow. Chinese names have been going crazy. Yeah, so AMD, wow. I mean, okay, we'll have a hard pass on that. All right, here goes Facebook. It's always nice when you're at the highest spot you've been at all day, and it's coming near the end of the day. So hopefully Facebook can get running now. If the chart will go upside. Oh yeah, that's right, we have that zooming in problem. So right now Facebook looking like it wants, that's the 1 day, looking like it wants to take out these highs. So let's see if it does that. I'm still offering up here a 382, let's just put it to 70, 382.70 if we get one little bounce up. But I mean, the market's getting ready for a close here. So who knows, I don't think we get it, but maybe we get some sort of a marketable order right at the end of the day. I'm gonna
maybe, I just put in the chat there, like Clover, if you're disciplined to the 950 area, maybe 940, not terrible to hold it if you like it long. I'm going to make the assumption that you have a better price, and buying it at 1075 here, like I'm going to assume if you mean like a 10 break or this pullback into 960, but I really should have said back into 9.25. I think at least 9.25 will probably make a little bit more sense, and probably even like a $9. Like if you're not willing to hold into that, then I don't see the point of holding that one overnight. And again, I'm making the assumption that you're not literally buying the top here, which to me is never, I think, the best idea. It's one thing on a breakout of that 1125 area, but buying the top when you still never broke 1125 doesn't make a ton of sense to me. If you got a great price and you've already profited some, okay, fine, like roll it in. But make sure you have an out. Like you're playing one of these squeeze plays or one of these stocks, like have a bit of an out. It looks good on the daily for the breakout. And like I said, like you got the 50 period at $9. You got some levels there between 9 and 925 to hold on to, but just make sure you have yourself an out if it's going to be a swing play, and don't just turn a day trade into a swing play because you feel like it, right? Like it doesn't actually make sense. Only Kevin Costner in draft day can do things because he feels like it.
Yeah, and that's because you're the GM of your own team, or is he the coach?
He was the GM. Yeah, he's the GM. I watched that movie every single year now since it came out. It's pretty hype. Right before our fantasy football draft, which was this weekend. So I got that one in recently. So it's like I'm a huge fan of that film. Just for, what I love it. One of those things about that film, it's because he had that mental note, and I actually did this in one of my baseball drafts. I wrote Ken Giles no matter what on a sticky note, and then had that with me at my draft to make sure I took Ken Giles. This is back when he was actually a good player.
Right, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of stinks now, and he's kind of hurt. But anyways, it's one of those things. And he has that, I forget the name of the guy, Vontae Mack.
That's what it is.
Mack, no matter what. It's the same thing as making notes as a trader, only he didn't need to trade up to number 1 to do it, but that's probably me spoiling the movie for you now.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's only 15 years old probably.
It's not 15 years old.
No?
5, 6.
No, it's more than that. Okay, all right, here goes Dada. Just looking at this on a daily chart here, I don't know. People looking at the earnings, and we'll see where it happens. 7 years, okay, split the difference. So we'll wait to see here. 22.30 on the bottom there. This is just one of those names here where it's already gone off from the top. If they guide lower, Dada could be in big trouble. So watch out for that one to the downside. I mean, we know the business that they're in, has a lot of upside there, but I'm just worried about this. This is way off from the bottom here. I think Dada needs to be looked at very, very carefully for tomorrow's close, or for that report. So watch out for that. We'll see if it's coming in. It doesn't look like Facebook wants to go. Oops, that's still Dada. Facebook doesn't look like it wanted to go. We're still nicely in the money on this one, 35 cents, but with only 30 seconds left, we better start canceling some of our orders and just getting out. But good trade on Facebook anyways, and Roblox in the money. We've got to close both these.
Yeah, CPNG worked, and we'll take a Sava out for a winner, but at the end of the day, they didn't move nearly as much as we wanted to. Not really any bounces on Toronto, just threw out there that nothing over $250,000 except for K.
There we go.
And we got to drop that countdown. Now, the NASDAQ is green, not by a heck of a lot. The ES is down. Miss V did wear the green today, so the streak is still on. 5, 4, 3, 2, ring it, Miss V.
All right, you missed it last week. She's got the beats now, so she's got some new tunes coming through. Brendan, the NASDAQ was good, but how was the S&P?
Not so much. Yeah, we were red, both the S&P and the Dow here to the downside. 0.76, the Dow leading. But yeah, NASDAQ held on. 0.15 in positive territory. Same for the TSX here in Toronto, Brazil. Also a nice day, 1.25%. Was all about these though throughout the day, guys. 10% for Bitcoin, 13 plus for Ethereum. Obviously, they don't close at 4 o'clock, but pretty ugly today.
Yeah, we talked about that flash crash, certainly moving to the dounside. And it's Cassava Sciences, which we both made winners on. That'll be the trade of the day, so stick around for that one.
Oh yeah, so we got that out on Cassava.
That SWW 17033. Thank you for saying welcome back. It's not Nairobi, it's Nairobi, like our old trader names. I was saying this when you were gone, Sean. Like I was Nairobi, Nerobe, because the first 2 letters my first
Roberts,
name,
right.
and then N.E. Roberts, and then Sean was S.H. and then Katina, so we called him Shikadi. I was Nairobi. Like traders on the floor would never go by their actual names. So to a lot of people, Sean is still Shikadi and I'm still Nairobi. Anyways, or Rose.
Not to too many people. I mean, a lot of those people have gone.
No, not on the floor anymore.
Yeah, we did get out of Sava at that nice spot there, 47.80, like we said we would. So that was a good trade. Join us for that. But look, it was an exciting day. It's glad to be back in the saddle. Although Neil's not going to be back. He's off on Thursday again. So Arun,
first day of school for my
exactly. So Arun will be back at that point. Then I'm taking off a day in September. And tomorrow, though, join us for the real fun. You might have saw the guy in the background walking around there. It's Trader Prad will be in the building tomorrow.
Oh, there he is. Where do you go?
There he is. What up? See he's already out of here. Like this guy, bell rings. Get back to work, Trader Prad. He gone. Big day tomorrow for memes and movers as they are coming back. And we'll see. I'll try to fix this little piece of my hair tomorrow as well. Don't have much on there, but I just noticed now that it's spiking up. Look, for all of us now, join us for the trade of the day. It's been a fun one. For Neil, for Brendan, thank you to Maggie and Lucas on the 1s and 2s. Forgot to shout them out. There they are. The new look is in the building there as well.
That's a great look.
Yeah, it's a great look. So thank you so much for that, and thank you to Miss V back there as well. So thank you, Valeria. There she is in her memes and movers spot. That's how you know it's serious, because she's over there getting ready to rock and roll. So for Trader TV Live, everyone here, we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.